It began with a quiet thud. Sometime after midnight, soft enough that I figured it was another stray cat, tipping over the trash bin. Morning told a different story. My mailbox lay sprawled at the end of the drive like it had lost a bar fight, twisted and half dangling from a single rusted screw. I stared at it, baffled but calm. Maybe a delivery van cut the corner too tight. I reset the post, tightened the bolts, and chalked it up to bad luck. 2 nights later, it happened again. This time, the post was torn out completely, splinters scattered like confetti. That's when it hit me. This wasn't some fluke. Welcome back to Suburbia Unhinged. Don't forget to like and follow for your weekly dose of HOA absurdity. After that, it became a pattern. Every couple of nights, same outcome. Mailbox pancaked. Sometimes tire ruts carved through my lawn. Other times, it looked like a demolition derby warm-up. I'd rebuild, repaint, restake, and within 48 hours, it was wrecked again. Someone out there had declared war on my poor box. I even pulled a few late-night stakeouts, flashlight, beef jerky, and the determination of a man protecting $50 of galvanized steel. But whoever was doing it had timing down to a science. I'd blink, shower, or step away for 10 minutes and come back to carnage. When I asked around, the neighbors shrugged. No witnesses. One guy mentioned hearing an engine roar around 2 in the morning. Another thought he saw a silver crossover idling near my driveway. Not helpful. Half the neighborhood drives silver crossovers. I started to feel paranoid, like I was imagining the whole thing. I filed a complaint with the HOA. They promised to review the incident, which probably meant ignore it until it stops. What exactly were they? Going to investigate a serial mailbox assassin? Still, the unease lingered. None of it made sense. Out of desperation, I mounted a plastic owl on top, a scare tactic straight from a gardening forum. The next morning, the owl had a dented beak and a scuff mark across its face. Great, even. My fake bird was taking hits. By then, I'd had enough. Whoever was behind this was gutsy, methodical, and definitely amused. But I wasn't done. I printed photos of the destruction, clipped them to a board, and marched into the HOA office like I was presenting evidence in court. And there she was, the reigning monarch of neighborhood misery herself, Brenda. Her grin looked polite until you noticed it didn't reach her eyes. I cleared my throat. Someone's been smashing my mailbox repeatedly. I've filed 3 reports and nothing's been done. Brenda tilted her head with slow, practiced confusion. Oh, your mailbox, she said, drawing out each word as if she'd just discovered what the postal service was. You mean the one right in front of your house? The one that keeps getting turned into scrap metal every other night, I said flatly. Brenda folded her hands, leaned back in her chair, and studied the photos as if they were modern art. Could have been a truck. Or the wind, she mused. These older posts, they break easy. I stared at her, stunned. It's been hit 4 times. Tire tracks, mangled wood, twisted bolts. I'm not making this up. She switched into that HOA dialect. Equal parts sugar and superiority. I'll review the matter, she said smoothly. In the meantime, double-check that your mailbox meets our community standards. Correct height, color, and post type. We wouldn't want to issue a citation. I almost laughed out loud. I'd come in reporting a repeat act of vandalism, and she was already threatening to fine me for the remains not being. Regulation approved. Still, I rebuilt it. New lumber, fresh coat of paint, even added a reflective strip. No one could miss it now. I buried the post deeper, anchored it tight, solid enough to stop a truck. For a few nights, all was calm. No thuds, no tire marks, no wreckage. Maybe, I thought, she'd actually done something. Maybe set a watch or warned the neighbors. I even saw her jogging past one morning in a neon pink tracksuit that practically announced, I rule this cul-de-sac. I gave a polite wave. She flashed that practiced smile again, the kind that looked friendly until you realized it wasn't. I let myself believe the storm had passed. Then Sunday arrived. I was halfway through my coffee, socks on, patience gone, when I spotted her silver SUV rolling slowly down the street. She crept toward my house like a cat stalking something fragile. Then roar, she hit the gas. The impact echoed through the window. My brand new mailbox folded in half like a tin toy. I froze, mug halfway to my lips, watching as she reversed, ran it over again for emphasis, and then calmly parked a few yards away. No hesitation, no guilt. Just HOA-grade villainy in motion. I bolted outside, coffee splashing down my shirt. Brenda, what the hell was that? She stepped out, adjusted her sun visor, and looked at the flattened wreck like it had inconvenienced her day. Oh, that? She said innocently. Didn't even see it there. Must have jumped out at me. It's been in that same spot for 5 years, I shot back, staring at the crater in disbelief. She gave a dainty shrug. Well, it wasn't compliant anyway. The association standard is antique bronze, not whatever dull gray that is. You mean the same gray as your SUV? I snapped. Her expression didn't flinch. She just blinked like I'd insulted the weather. It's not my fault your mailbox didn't meet code. Maybe next time, follow the guidelines. You're not even sorry? I said, voice breaking between shock and rage. She gave a casual shrug. I run the HOA, she said, as if that settled everything. Technically, you should be grateful I haven't fined you yet. In that moment, I realized Brenda wasn't merely indifferent, she was intoxicated by the authority. She believed her title made her untouchable, that she could flatten anything she disliked and stroll away with a smile. If she thought I was just another quiet neighbor, she'd picked the wrong target. I didn't sit and simmer, I plotted. If Brenda enjoyed turning mailboxes into scrap, I'd build one that would turn the tables, one that would leave her stunned, embarrassed and eating dust. This wasn't going to the police. This was personal. If she wanted a battle, I was prepared to host the championship match. All weekend I worked on it. Not a simple replacement, but an engineered trap. Inside the post, I slipped a half-inch plate of cold, rolled steel, welded to a long I-beam sunk into concrete. Outside, it wore the very gray she'd mocked, a little taste of her own medicine. It looked ordinary from the curb. Up close, it felt like a safe room. I added a motion camera, a motion-triggered light, and even stuck a tacky faux squirrel on the top because why not? Make the setup absurd while I waited. 48 hours later, I was back at my kitchen window, coffee in hand, feet tucked under me like a watchful hawk. Predictably, Brenda's silver SUV eased down the street. She slowed right where she always did, then floored it. The metal met metal with a sickening clang. Her bumper folded, her hood buckled like foil. The mailbox didn't budge. She hit it so hard her airbag burst out. I nearly choked on my coffee laughing. She spilled out, hair disheveled, dazed and furious, looking as if gravity had failed her that day. She stood there, hands on her head, staring at the intact post as if it had cheated. I stepped onto the lawn, phone already cued to play back the footage. You might want to have that bumper checked, I called, trying to keep the smile from breaking. Looks like it took the worst of it. Her face flushed. The confident mask dropped. This is dangerous, she sputtered. I'll report you to the board. Go ahead, I said, calm as a judge. I've got every angle. Want me to send it to your insurance too? She folded like a poorly made cardboard sign. Without another word, she slunk back to her crushed SUV and drove off, dignity trailing behind like a busted muffler. My mailbox? Still upright, not a scratch. Solid as a verdict. And the video? Let's just say it had a star turn at the next neighborhood meeting, projected on the wall while people munched popcorn. Stick around for more HOA theatrics. Do you think Brenda got what she deserved? Drop your take below.